Have you been looking at ways to optimize your Google Ads campaigns? By optimizing your Google Ads campaigns, you can help to increase your ROI and lower your costs, and ultimately generate more leads, more inquiries. Hi, my name is AJ Duna, and today I want to show you 15 different ways to optimize your Google Ads campaigns to help you generate more leads, more inquiries, and ultimately more customers and sales. I do want you to take into account that these 15 points are just a high-level overview of what you must do in order to optimize your Google Ads campaigns. There is a lot more that goes into it, but hey, this would be a fantastic start. Number one, allow your data to build up. I see a lot of companies, and what they do, they go inside their Google Ads account, they create an account, and they start optimizing it straight away, but they haven't got enough data. And if you haven't got enough data, you will not be able to make good decisions. So once an account is created, do some very basic optimization, but let your account run, let some conversions come in before you actually start delving into optimizing your account. Point number two, make sure you use a reasonable date range. Now, again, what happens typically is that if you're out to optimize your Google Ads campaign and you've only got a week's worth of data, you're not taking into account seasonality or other external factors which could be influencing your Google Ads account. So use a reasonable data set, either 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, and look at the general trends, because sometimes you can get a bad week, or sometimes you could get an exceptionally good week. You don't know. So best way is have a reasonable date range, so 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, or whatever, and then use that data in order to make your decisions. And at the same time, when looking at date ranges, compare the period to the previous period. So if you're looking at 2020 January, February, March, look at how 2019 January, February, March performed, and then make your decisions. Number three, look at your device level optimization. So at settings level, look at your devices. You've got your mobile, you've got your computers, you've got your tablets. How is each device performing? Now, if you want to get even better, look at it at campaign level or even ad group level, because you're getting really granular. So if you find that most of your conversions are coming from, say, mobile, then increase your mobile bid. And if you feel that, hey, from computer or tablets, you're getting a lot of traffic, but the traffic is not converting, then put a negative bid adjustment on it. Number four, try different bid strategies. So for example, you might be using manual CPC. And if you are using manual CPC, great, it might be working for you at the moment. But how would your account perform if you were to change that bid strategy to, say, target CPA or maximize conversions? Now, it is really important that you carry on testing different bid strategies. You can even use the inbuilt experiments within Google Ads so that you can test one strategy against another. Number five, look for campaigns that are limited by budget. Now, limited by budget means exactly that Google is trying to push out ads to your potential customers, but it can't do it because you're limited by budget. So you have a few options, and the options are, some of the most popular options are, firstly, increase your budget if that's something that you can do. Failing that, reduce some of your cost per clicks on individual keywords. If that's not an option, or as well as other options, you might like to consider using ad scheduling so that your ads only appear certain days of the week or certain times of the day when you know that you're more likely to get conversions. You can also get a bit more advanced so that you can try using different bid strategies. Again, as my previous point, you might say, okay, I've got this set amount of budget, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my bid strategy to maximize conversions. So by maximize conversions, Google is going to take your budget and it's going to try to drive you as many conversions as possible within that budget, as long as you have enough data. Hey, so out of interest, what is your best bid strategy? What type of strategies do you use? Tell me in the sort of comments below. I'd love to understand what you're using and why you're using them. Point number six, step back and look at your account structure. So make sure that the hierarchy of your account is optimal and organized as much as possible into its logical type of grouping. So, start off from your ads and make sure the ads are highly relevant to the keywords that are triggering the ads in the first place. Make sure that your keywords are highly relevant to the ad groups. So each ad group must have a very specific theme behind it. And likewise, make sure your ad groups are very specific to the campaign that you're using. And by carrying this account structure across, you're going to get the maximum benefits because Google is going to be able to better serve highly relevant ads to your customers. And ultimately, you're going to be paying less per click. Number 7, negative keywords. So look at your negative keywords to see what keywords you want to exclude from a certain ad group or a certain campaign. Negative keywords are keywords which, if someone types in, you don't want your ad to appear for that particular keyword. For example, you might use the word free, and if someone types in free, like free training, you don't want your ad to appear. So you can tell Google that if the word free appears, don't show my ad. You can add negative keywords at group level and even at campaign level. If you want to get more advanced, you can add them at shared library level. So make sure you keep an eye on your negative keywords on a regular basis and keep adding whatever keywords are not relevant to you. Whilst looking at negative keywords, it's important that you look at your search terms, because your search terms is the place where you're going to find out the actual words that people have been typing in and clicking on in order to visit your website. Number 8, review your match types. So as we know, we've got various different match types, from broad match to broad match modifiers, phrase match, and exact match. So when it comes to broad match, that's where your costs are really going to start increasing, and you're going to introduce a lot of irrelevant search terms being driven to your account, which you will be ultimately paying for. So where possible, try to sway your account more towards exact match, because by using more exact and phrase matches, you're serving your ads to a more qualified audience. If you want to get a bit more advanced, you can start grouping your account so that it is organized by match types. Number 9, new keyword opportunities. Use the suggested keyword tool in order to find new keywords which you may not already have within your account. So when you go to add a new keyword, Google will give you some ideas about keywords that you can add into your ad group. So that's one way to find new keywords. The other way is to look at your search terms again. Now, earlier we discussed making certain search terms into negatives, but by looking at search terms, you may also discover new opportunities, new keywords, which you think, hey, these are driving the actual conversions, but I have not got them added as a keyword. And now by adding them as a keyword, you can have more control over how much you bid for those keywords. Number 10, use audiences. By using audiences, what you can do, you can add another layer, as well as your keywords, you can add another layer to laser target your potential customers who are in market for your services. So for example, if you're a financial investment consultant, you can have an audience of people who are in market for investment services. And by doing so, you know that your ads are going to work far better because you are targeting those who have at some point in time shown an active interest within investment services. Number 11, look at your remarketing campaign. A remarketing campaign is a campaign whereby you can retarget people who may have visited your website and not converted. In other words, they may not have filled in an inquiry form or contact us form, or they may not have purchased from you. But when they go away from your website, you can then show them an ad incentivizing them to come back onto your website again. Now, this is especially good for high value items. Now, what some of the most common factors as to why remarketing campaigns don't work is because either your remarketing is too generic. In other words, that you're looking at, you're retargeting people who have visited any page of your website. So what you might like to do is target specific campaigns at specific purposes. For example, a person who has visited the mortgage page of your website, for example. And then the ad will be highly relevant to that audience who may have visited the mortgage page. So in some cases, your bid adjustment is not high enough or low enough in some cases. Or it could be that your date range as to your remarketing is either too long or too short. So there could be various factors why your remarketing campaign may not be working, but it's important to analyze the performance of your remarketing campaign. Number 12, review your ads. So make sure the ad copy is highly relevant to the keywords that are serving those ads in the first place. Not only that, make sure the structure of your ad, so your headline 1, headline 2, your descriptions, have got appropriate keywords in them and are very highly relevant. Make sure your ads are taking people to the appropriate landing page. And what you might like to do is look at the ads which are not performing and pause those ads, get rid of them, and keep the high performing ads. And what I mean by high performing are those ads that might be bringing you most amount of conversions, or they might be bringing the highest amount of conversion rate, or they may be bringing you conversions at a really good cost per acquisition or cost per lead. Number 13, test your landing pages. So it's great sending people to various pages, but if you find that you've got the right keyword, you've got the right ad, and your search term, you checked everything, but the conversion rate isn't so brilliant, check your landing pages. It could be that your landing page has not got the right messaging or the copyright or the call to actions on them. In some cases, what you might like to do is conduct an A/B test. So have another landing page set up and test the first version, the original version, against a new version that you have. That can massively improve your conversion rate. Hey, by the way, in order to test your landing pages, there are so many ways you can do this, but one of the ways you can do it is by creating something called an experiment, which is an inbuilt tool within Google Ads. Number 14, check your extensions. So, we have various extensions, from site links to price extensions to call extensions and structured snippet extensions. And these, your extensions are the links that appear below your main ad. So by reviewing your extensions, what you will make sure, firstly, you've got them, which will give you more exposure. Your ads can look better, you can get a better click-through rate. And then look at individual extensions and see how they're performing. So you might like to look at your site links, for example, and you might have 6 different site links. Which one of them are performing in terms of bringing you conversions, or which one of them are not performing, in which case you might like to take that out and put a new extension in which may actually perform better. You might also take a look at what level your extensions are. So are they at account level, campaign level, or ad group level? So obviously, the more low down the tree, the more granular they're going to be, so you can serve more highly relevant site links or extensions to that particular audience. Last but not least, review your recommendations. Now, Google gives recommendations here, but take it with a sort of pinch of salt. Don't apply everything, because you know your business better than anyone else does, not Google. So Google is always going to say, hey, add these keywords in, or why don't you do this or do that or whatever. You use this bid strategy, or take these keywords away. Now, just because Google's recommended it, it doesn't mean to say you do it. So take a look at the recommendations that Google is making and use your own business knowledge to actually decide whether those recommendations are relevant. So you either want to apply them, and if you do want to apply them, do you want to apply them through the recommendation tool by clicking on apply, or do you want to manually apply them, or do you want to dismiss that recommendation because you don't agree with it? And it's okay to dismiss the recommendations. So guys, that's it for my 15 high-level overview of ways to optimize your Google Ads campaign. If you think I've missed something out, or if there's something you want me to talk about in more detail, please put it in the comments below. Whilst you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like the content I'm delivering. Let me know what other type of content you would like. I also have a guide, a PPC guide. So if you are creating a brand new account, you might like to download it. It's a really good guide which will help you to create your Google Ads account in a well-structured manner in the first place. So go to ppcebook.com and you'll be able to download it for absolutely free of charge. Thank you, and I'll see you guys soon.